Think about the exact second right after you fail at something. You know the feeling. The visceral internal dialogue begins. You call yourself lazy, you call yourself weak, you tell yourself you should have known better. Make no mistake, this is not a character flaw. This is a measurable biological event happening inside your skull right now. Okay, let's dive into this explainer and see exactly what's happening in your nervous system.
When you hear these harsh words in your head, you probably think this is discipline. You think you're holding yourself accountable. Well, neuroscience says it's the exact opposite. This harsh inner voice is not discipline. It is the exact biological mechanism that destroys your brain's capacity for willpower.
Section 1. The biological plot twist. Your internal predator.
The paradigm shift here is absolutely profound. Your amygdala is the primitive survival center of your brain, and it has a fatal flaw. It literally cannot tell the difference between a physical external attacker and your own harsh internal criticism. Your brain processes self-judgment through the identical threat detection circuit. Beating yourself up sets off a biological fire alarm inside a locked room. The brain doesn't know the attack is coming from inside the house. It just hits the panic button.
And here is the data. 30 to 40%. That's how much your cortisol spikes during acute episodes of self-critical rumination. You're putting your entire nervous system into a physiological threat state. You simply cannot execute complex, disciplined actions when your nervous system is biologically convinced it's fighting for survival.
Section 2. Starving the prefrontal cortex. The deep science.
A threatened brain simply cannot be a disciplined brain because it physically reallocates its resources. The prefrontal cortex is the CEO of your brain. It handles planning, focus, and long-term decision-making. Now, think of a hospital backup generator. In a massive emergency, it diverts all electrical power away from the research labs and sends it straight to the emergency room. Your brain does the exact same thing. When cortisol floods your system, it physically shunts blood and glucose away from the prefrontal cortex to fund your fight-or-flight reflexes. You're starving the CEO. You are shutting down the exact hardware you need for discipline.
Chronic self-criticism acts like a toxic chemical. Sustained cortisol physically shrinks the prefrontal cortex over time. It reduces the branches of your logical brain. Simultaneously, it physically fertilizes and strengthens the reactive amygdala. You are slowly shrinking the exact neural architecture that discipline depends on.
Section 3. Shame versus corrective action. The avoidance circuitry. This brings us to a critical neurological distinction. We have to separate guilt from shame. Guilt is behavior-focused. It says, I did a bad thing. Shame is identity-focused. It says, I am a bad person. Guilt is a dashboard warning light prompting you to fix a solvable problem. Shame is a self-destruct sequence. It triggers the mammalian freeze and hide response. It activates your avoidance circuitry. You cannot take aggressive action while your brain is executing a biological avoidance protocol.
So the crucial point is how we fix this. Cortisol is the fire. It burns down your focus. Oxytocin is the biological extinguisher. Self-compassion is not letting yourself off the hook. It is the mechanical lever you pull to release the foam. Self-compassion engages your parasympathetic nervous system. It releases oxytocin. This directly counteracts the cortisol. It cools down your nervous system and rapidly restores your executive function.
Before we break down the exact biological protocol to fix this, if this science is changing how you see your own brain, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Now, let's look at the mechanical steps.
Section 4. The 4-step protocol. Rewiring the nervous system.
These are pure, science-backed utility steps. We aren't using motivational fluff to downregulate your threat matrix. Step 1. Separate the action from the identity. Name the behavior, not the character. Don't say, I am lazy. Say, I avoided that task today. This keeps the prefrontal cortex engaged in problem-solving mode. It prevents the identity-level shame response that produces pure avoidance. Step 2. Use the friend test. Speak to yourself using your own name in the third person. Say what you would say to a friend. Using third-person self-distancing acts as a rapid override switch. It instantly downregulates amygdala reactivity. It requires almost zero cognitive effort. You teleport from the field directly to the press box to objectively view the strategy. Steps 3 and 4. Acknowledge common humanity. Then shift focus to the next 5 minutes. The struggle is human. It is not a unique failure. Recognizing this single fact prevents the shame spiral. Then, replace punishment with immediate action. Say, that didn't work. Here's what I will do in the next 5 minutes. You shift completely out of past failure.
You move immediately into goal-directed prefrontal action.
Section 5. The neural verdict. The final takeaway.
Every act of self-punishment disables the exact brain region required to succeed the next time you try. You cannot shame a brain into sustainable discipline. Self-compassion is not the opposite of discipline. It is the biological precondition for it. If this video has challenged your thinking and added value to your life, please support us by subscribing to the channel. And yes, make sure to share this video with at least 2 of your friends so they can add value to their lives as well.